so welcome back everybody. Today is, like I mentioned before, I've split up the actual demos into two parts. Today's activity is the recreation challenge. And I'll just take my time with this, so this will be probably a longer video, so will the next one. Not as short as all the other videos, but I'd just rather show you guys all the stuff, walk you guys through, and hopefully inspire you guys along the way. So as you guys can see right here, I'm in one of the worlds that I did. I built this world for the Hawaii STEM conference workshops that I did. And here I am with my little guy, my little avatar. What's up? So for this challenge, like I mentioned, there's going to be a zip file associated with this, and these are all files that I grabbed from Polypizza. So I wanted you guys to have like a fun recreation challenge. It's just like a great way to warm up and head into Hyperfy. So I'm gonna now fly over to the little demo that you guys are going to be building today. And depending on the time, you can, here. Woo! Here we are. Depending on the time that you can have them just do part of it, all of it, but I think it's fun if you give them enough time so they can actually try to recreate everything they see here. So all these files, again, will be in the zip file. What would be fun for them to do is now we're going to see how I made all of this. So I'm just basically going to show you guys from above. I grabbed all these different elements from, some are from the Discord Hyperfy community. Others are from, some are different file formats. So we have hypes, which are the file formats you can do all sorts of fun little programming, like this fireplace is a hype, and right here this is a hype. And then we have all these different GLB files. And there's different ways to bring objects in, and I'm going to show that. So this is what we're going to try to recreate. I just want to give you guys like a little overview. So if you can always like bring your students to this world, take a look and be like, okay, now we're going to try to recreate this in our own world. I'm going to also include screenshots of this, so that way they just have it, and it's going to be their little challenge to see who can recreate it the fastest. So we're just going to head over and just like right now start the process of what it involved to make all of this right here. So the first step you would do, there's zip files unzipped, and within that zip file there are three different folders: avatar folder, a GLB folder, and hypes folder. So to start, I want everyone to open up their GLB folder, and we're going to grab and look for, let's see, I'm going to actually start with the base part. So that base part would be the first element to bring in, and then from there we're going to go over all the different tools. So basically this is practice for them to understand how to rotate, how to move things, and all that kind of fun stuff. So let's look for that, and it's called rock flat grass. So there it is. All I did was I just dragged it in and brought it into the world. And here it is. Here, I'm actually going to go over here and grab it real quick and bring it over here, so then I have it closer to here so I can like refer to that and show you guys. Okay, so when you drag and drop things directly into the world, one thing that you notice is, look, I can walk straight through it, which is cool, but on this one you can see when I go up to it, it has what's called colliders. So these colliders allow me to actually walk on the objects, and some of these have colliders, and as you can see, look, some don't. So this one has colliders, and as you saw, the other one doesn't. So to start, what I would do, if you're, some of the little ones, I would have them start with just dragging and dropping things in. That's kind of fun. But soon they'll realize, hey, wait a minute, I can walk straight through this. What if I don't want that? Okay, so if you don't want that, this is another fun way to bring in objects to add the collider real easily. So what you're going to do, you're going to hit escape, which allows you to now use your cursor, and you're going to go up to this menu on the left hand side. You're going to click on that, and you're going to see this is the interface. We're going to go over a little bit of that later, but right now I want to click on plus, and I'm going to bring in a model. So when you click on that, you see I have this little box, and that represents a model, and that model is going to be the GLB. So I'm just going to bring in this same object right here, but with my little box. So I'm going to, if I right click on it, it allows you to inspect. So if you see on the left hand side, first of all, you would have to have a world where you have administrative permissions in order to do that. For the worlds that I have, I can give a little separate demo on that. Basically, you either have to have a world hosted The ones that I have don't have the most latest development environment, so it doesn't have this cool menu. But I'm gonna maybe do a separate video on how to actually get, like, you know, if you want a hosted world, what would that look like? Right now they cost like $5 a month, but maybe I'll talk to the people who host this. Maybe they'll have a package for schools, which would be kind of cool. So you can have like 10 worlds for a certain amount. Or right now the other worlds are donated, and the only issue with that is it doesn't connect it to like the administrative, so you can set the passwords, because it's really nice as an educator for you to set the passwords on and off. So let's say during the class, everybody connected can set their admin and log in and actually make changes to the world, and you can always change the password. So right now reconnect real quick. I'm gonna reconnect. That sounds a little confusing. It really isn't, but I'm here to help you guys. If you ever have any questions, we can set up little separate sessions. I can walk you through that. Here, let me fly back over there. Okay, I'm not sure why it's having issues right now connecting. Maybe it's my internet connection, which can happen. And that's one of the things whenever you're teaching anything that's internet based, from my many years of teaching workshops, Murphy's Law again. If it can't go wrong, it will go wrong. So especially when you're trying to do anything like this, I swear, always have things never work out right. But that's part of the fun, like I was mentioning, like you break things and all that. Okay, so let's go back over here to our little box. So I have the permission. If you have a space, and again, let's say you have a hosted space, and it's up to the latest development, it would have all these cool menus on the left-hand side. If you hit enter, it has this little dialog panel down here. And if you're the admin, you would just type admin, and then after that, the password that you set. So mine is a certain thing. I could just type it in right now, and that would give me access to be able to do all this fun stuff that we're gonna do. So I'm gonna assume you guys have admin. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to message me and I can direct you to that. And I can talk all about that in another video, specifically about how to get a world and all that kind of fun stuff. But right now, I'm going to assume you have the worlds set up. Okay, so I'm going to right click right now, and I'm going to do what's called change the base model. If you go over the upper left, you see this little icon right here. Basically now, instead of dragging that model in that I showed you guys before, I'm going to look for it, and I'm going to look for it on my desktop. So the kids would open up their zip, the file is zipped, go into their GLBs and drag and select that item. So that's what I'm going to do right now too. I'm going to go for my, I think I need to create a shortcut. And I'm going to find my rock flats grass. And then there you go. You see? And look at the cool thing. Ooh, look, now it has a collider. Now I can walk on top of it. So, and look at the other one. Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see. See how I walk straight through it? And this one, now I can walk on top of it. Woo! I think it's a lot more fun having colliders, I think. But again, if you're having little ones, you might not want to have that extra step, so just drag and drop. It's kind of fun to start and get them to understand this kind of, like how to interact with this fun world. And again, a lot of them have been playing, I would assume, Minecraft, Roblox. They kind of know some basic interface, so it might be a lot easier for them than you realize if you give them a couple minutes to try and show them. Okay, so now what I want to show you guys is, okay, I have this object, and if you saw in the demo, look, there's a bunch of them over there. So what do I have to do to make this bigger and smaller and rotate it and all that fun stuff? So, and I'm going to click this. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is now select this object, and and if you hit the numbers 1, you grab it, and the cool thing, let's say you just want to move it, just to show you that part real quick. Wherever you go, it kind of comes with you, which is pretty cool. So if you want to drop it somewhere, you just left click and it'll place it there. So let's say right now I actually want to make this bigger. So if you hit the number 2, you can actually move it that way. If you hit the number 3, you can rotate it. And if you hit the number 4, this little gizmo, this thing, it's a little finicky, I have to admit. It took me a little bit of playing with it to get it to do exactly what I want, but each of these little panels does something else. Let's say if you just want to stretch it, look, it'll make it bigger. You can see like there. Okay. If you want to elongate it, you can do that too. So you can play with this. You can play with all these settings. There's there's no right or wrong in this, but let's say generally if you want to make the whole object bigger without distorting it, if you go in the middle, and it's kind of like it's easy to like overdo it. So I think they'll have a lot of fun and kind of be driven a little crazy with like, oh wait a minute, this is crazy, this is fun. So you can make it really big, really small, but it's like my mouse, I think, is also really sensitive, so that they'll have fun playing with that, making it bigger and smaller. So for now, I'm kind of happy with that. So I'm gonna left click away from the object, and there it's set. So right now, look, I've kind of rotated it in a funny way. So I'm gonna hit 2 and just bring it down a little bit again. And I kind of rotated it funny, so maybe I'm gonna rotate it so it's kind of more flat again. There you go. So even just this part, they could have fun just playing with moving it, making it bigger, making it smaller. So now what I want to do is I want to duplicate it, because I don't have to keep dragging and dropping it in the object to create like the whole base. So that's what we're gonna, we're starting with. We're making this whole base area right there. So let's go back over here. So in order to do that, all you have to do is you're on the object. So I'm on the object right here. And let's say a little quick thing. If you do something you don't like, you can always do Command Z, which is really cool. But I don't want that. I wish I hadn't done that. So I think it only has one Command Z. So I'm just going to rotate it back to where it was. And hit escape. Okay, so now I want to duplicate it. So all you have to do is have the little red circle icon over the object and hit R. And now I'm just going to move the new version here, which is pretty cool. And now this one, since it's technically an instance of the other one, it also, now you can see, hey, is it the same? Yep, I can walk on it too, which is pretty cool. So that's really fun. So right now, let's say you want to get rid of something. It's pretty easy. You put that little red little circle over it and hit X, and it got rid of that. And you're like, oh no, I don't want to get rid of that. Command Z. So X, I'm just going to get rid of that for now. So right now, what I'm going to do is quickly just, let's say R, make another one over here. You can lay them out however you like. Another R. It's really easy. Just, R, and then you can start placing them, having them however you want. And if you want a better view, again, once you're admin, only when you're an admin can you fly. So you double click on your mouse bar. on your space bar, and then you fly. Okay, let's do a couple more of these. Oh. Let's see, that's strange. This one should have a collider. Sometimes you get stuck if you... I think I got stuck in here. Sometimes strange things happen and you end up getting stuck in the world and there's no way out. But, sometimes the meshes do funky things. Let's see if it's gonna let me... I escaped. Yes. Okay, now let's see if things work properly. As I told you, remember Murphy's Law. If it can go wrong, everything's probably gonna work beautifully for you. But even just this part, I'm sure your students will have a lot of fun. So you can be like, okay, everybody, make your base. You can do 3 or 4, and that would be fine. And now let's bring in some trees. Actually, let's bring in a hype. Let's bring in a fire pit, which is pretty cool. So hypes are kind of like mini apps, and you can do all sorts of cool little, different things with it. It's more advanced, and maybe I can do a whole another video about that another day, or I can bring like a expert friend on to do a little demo about hypes and stuff like that, because it's a whole another world. But one thing I really like, one of my favorite hypes, is this butterfly hype. So I'm just gonna go into that folder, go under hypes, HYPS, and just drag and drop in that hype, and look what happens. No, look at all these butterflies. I mean, who doesn't love butterflies? So now my little area has the butterflies, which is really cool. And now let's bring in the fire pit. I think the fire pit alone would make a lot of people happy. So I can just drag and drop that in. Here's my little fire pit. That's very cool. Okay, so another really fun thing that we did is one of the hypes, as you can see over here, I have fractillions, I have my name, so your students in a group could actually create like a project name or a group team name, and they can name their world. So let's bring that one in. So that hype is called the... Oh, I thought I had it in here. Let's see. So it's for some reason... Let's go back over here. For some reason you do what I just did and you thought you had a hype, you didn't, but you know World has it. And you have permissions to edit in that world, or some of them you just can download. Right now I'm going to... Let's see if it's going to let me inspect. Okay, Neon it's called. So I'm just going to download that hype. I'm going to save it into the folder that I'm going to create for you guys and give it to you guys. I'm just bringing it into... It's called Neon. Cool. What I could have done too, if you have it in another area of a word, I could have just duplicated this and brought it over as well. But for now, let's just walk through my park and get to the new park I'm building. The neighboring park. And I'm going to do the same thing and drag and drop that. So your students can... There it is. So the cool thing about it, as you can see, when I dragged it in, it opened up this little panel on the left-hand side. So I'm going to write Hawaii STEM program. Let's see if it works. Maybe it's too long. It didn't work. Oh, let's see why that's not working. Should work. Let's just do test. There you go, test. I think the other one I wrote was too long. We could just do Hawaii. There you go, Hawaii worked. So they can come up with a name. Maybe it could be longer than I thought. Maybe not. Let's see, let's try Hawaii STEM. Maybe I can't do 2 words? Oh, I did. Beautiful. Okay. So that's a fun thing. Oh, and another cool thing here. Let me show you guys. Is you can actually adjust the color, which is kind of fun. And the glow intensity, so it could glow a little bit, a lot. Let's see, whatever color they choose would be kind of fun. So, after you kind of show them some of the basics, I'm sure they'll get the hang of it and then they'll start just dragging and dropping everything. So some of these GLBs are kind of a little bigger than others. So it depends. When you download the stuff, it's free, and some people have made them bigger, smaller. And so that's why it's really fun to know how to resize if you need to. Here I'm going to bring in a little pine tree. That tree is really cool. I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to actually go over there and grab it. Fly over there. Grab it. And again, remember when you walk, you can grab things. And let's say I want to have a big tree right there. That tree right now is a little big. Let's say I wanted to make it a little smaller. So I'm going to try to resize it, make it a little smaller. There you go. And again, the resize tool is, you know, very sensitive, at least on my mouse. I think maybe it is my mouse that's very sensitive. But if you have that same problem, then you might want to, you know, they're going to have fun. Sometimes it gets dragged underneath. You'll see. I can do another. Let me do a duplicate and show you what you can. So let's say you want to resize this. Sometimes, whoop, that's a nice huge tree. That's kind of cool. And then sometimes if you go way, it goes underneath. But it's fun kind of playing around. You can make a whole like fun like forest out of this. So this park could be more foresty. And I'm going to duplicate this one, keep making it a little bigger. And now I'm going to bring in some other elements. So the cool thing is if you have them make it, now this thing, I don't know why I'm getting stuck in these. Normally it wasn't doing that before. There we go. If you get stuck, you can just double click and I just was able to drag myself out. And again, these models, maybe they have some kind of normals or mesh or all this stuff. So who knows what the main issue is, but okay. So what other things should we start bringing in? Let's start bringing in some of the slides. This fountain is really cool. And again, let's do a fountain. You can challenge them with different things. Maybe you could be like, okay, now let's say if you want to keep everybody on the same board and be like, hey, now we're going to do a slide with no collider and be like, and you can like practice that vocabulary and see if you remembers. Obviously the older kids will probably pick that up. It'll be no problem, but for the little ones, you'd be like, okay, you can give them different challenges where it's not like you're not adding too much on their plate right away. Let them play a lot and they'll figure it out, because the more you add, the more they're going to be like, wait a minute, what? But if you just make them do one action over and over and over, then it's a lot easier to add the next one. So you could give them, like, say 10 minutes to bring things in, 10 minutes to just rotate, resize, you know, like not jump back and forth, which I've kind of myself jumping back and forth a little bit, but I'm just excited to share. So that's my bad excuse for why I'm jumping all over the place. Okay, so I'm gonna hit escape, and now what I want to do is let's bring in a slide. So I'm gonna bring in actually a swing set. So this swing set right here. So as you can see, remember how I said some objects are a lot bigger, smaller? And this swing set, I want to be able to get on the swing. So ask yourself, well, what should I have done instead? Since obviously now I'm like decapitating myself. You might want to use the different way to bring objects in. So if you're unhappy with what you did, all you have to do is go over that object, hit X. So now I'm going to do it the other way, because I want to be able to add a collider. I'm going to go up here. Okay, let's do that again. There we go. There's the model. And now I want to right click on it, and that right click opens up this little panel. And I'm going to click on this little box, and I'm going to choose the GLB you want associated with that. So I want the swings. And there you go. And as you can see, these swings are a little big. Uh-oh, I got stuck. No! Let's see if we can move it and get me unstuck. There we go. Okay. Sometimes if something is brought in and it's big like this and it's over you, if you saw what I did, I just like hit 1 and that lets me grab it, and I could just move it around. So how I'm moving it, in case you're wondering, like I'm just bringing my mouse forward and back, like dragging it on the mouse pad forward and back. And if you want to if you have a little rotate thing on your mouse, you can actually rotate it like that too, which makes it really fun too, instead of using the tools. Okay, so now let's say I want it here, and I want to resize it, because those swing sets seem kind of big. Maybe not that big, but let's see if the collider's on. Yep. And here's another cool thing. Let's say you want your colliders or collision off. You can actually turn it off. And look what happens. Woo! Now you can do both. You can have your colliders on and off on an object. I'd rather have the option to have it on or off, and that makes it really cool. So now if I want to get on my swing, there you go. I can hang out on this giant swing set and just chill out with my butterfly friends. Okay. So at this point, you can be like, hey, do you guys think that swing set's cool? Too big, too small? So you can resize it. Again, practicing, giving them little challenges to do certain things. And again, if they're older kids, high school, you can just crank through this, and you can do a challenge like, hey, who can recreate this whole scene as close as possible, the quickest? Go. And that'll be a fun challenge for them. At least for me it would be. They might just be like, oh my god, that's too easy. Then you could just be like, okay, we just want to see if you got a hang of all the tools and all the stuff. And okay, so now is another little fun part that I want to show. So now I want to give the challenge of changing your avatar. So this little character right here, these are all from a cool site. It's the free avatar, open source avatar. And all the avatars that you're seeing I'm running around with come from there. It's called open source avatars. So for this next part, before we head there, I also have avatars already for you guys. So this next little challenge is I want you guys to have them all change their avatars and place it somewhere. So you can see here, here's a fun little guy. He's a little shushy guy. He's one of my favorites. He's really cool. And in order to change your avatar, it's just super easy. All you have to do is open your avatar folder and drag and drop it in. Place. There you go. There he is. So now I can move this guy and do, whatever I want. So I can move them around. I can, not sure, things are a little buggy right now. Let me reload the world. And that's gonna happen sometimes. Again, this Hyperfy is being constantly updated and always some really cool features. Sometimes it's buggy, things sometimes crash. Let's go back over there. Woo. Okay. Strange, for some reason it didn't save that little guy coming in. Let's see if things are fixed now. Okay, so I'm gonna equipped. So if you hit equipped, you become that avatar now. So he's so cool. Again, he's one of my favorites. I love this guy. This would be a great Halloween costume. And I think another cool thing you can make them do here, if you hit enter, it opens up that little dialog box. You have slash. Oh, he's not dancing. He should be dancing. I don't know why he's not dancing. Well, normally you can dance. Well, I think he's grumpy today, so he doesn't feel like dancing. Okay. So, he's gonna hang out right here since he's a grumpy little guy. Okay, so they can do that. They can just test from all the different avatars that I have. So here, let's try being a little bee. I've got a tiny little bee now. He's a really cute one. All the avatars from this website are so cute. They can choose any one of those, or let me switch to that. They can explore the gallery and select from this huge list of other really cool avatars too. Here's Paco. There's all these cool ones they can choose from. So let's say they want to try this one out. Let's say this. Let's try the ghost pumpkin. That one's super cute. Okay, I'm gonna download the ghost pumpkin and go through the same process. And another cool thing before I show you there, in terms of teaching tool for little kids, for any age, the cool thing about this is, look, you can go into wireframe mode. It shows all the wireframe of this mesh, which is really cool. They can show the bones within there. That could be a whole nother class. That would be, you can play with that in Blender, or you can play with their other websites where you could create different cool VRMs. But for now, this is just a cool little learning tool for them to understand, how does this actually work? Well, in other programs, you can learn how to build these as well. And actually, we will be in part 2, I'll show you in Meshy, you can create different, you'll be able to play around with things that you create and show them running around and stuff like that. So that'll be a fun one. Let's do one more. Let's see what Cat Eye is. He's really cool. I think we're gonna, let's see the bones on that. Look at the mesh on that one. And I will download this guy as well. So another little challenge you can give to them is download a couple of them. And I think my internet is acting up today, so sorry about that. So coffee break. And these sessions will be a lot of fun, because hopefully I'll be able to host live sessions where everybody, all of us will be together in a Zoom call, building together, everybody sharing what they're building, asking questions if they have anything, questions and things like that. Okay, Mr. B. I think I'm going to change Mr. B for, I will try the Cat Eye one. Let's see. Oh, that one's really cool. Look at that. That looks really cool. Okay. So Cat Eye has looks like its hands are not there. I wonder if that was just in here. Yep, he has no hands. He has a really long sweater, which is really cool. Okay. So let's go back here, and I'm going to, now I want to place, you can give them a challenge. Place some of these little avatars and put them all over your park. So that again gives them practice of moving things and all that kind of fun stuff. And again, it's just gets the group working together, deciding where to place things and all that kind of fun stuff. So now I'm going to do the Cat Eye as well and do place. So now when you place it, I can grab it. Let's say I want to put him up here. There you go. So now he's up here. See? You can place him wherever you want, and you can click R duplicate just like any other object. So you can place them all over. You can have now bring a couple other ones in here. It just makes it more fun. You have a bunch of little fun characters in here. Oh, the ghost pumpkin. I'm gonna have to try out what it's like to be a ghost pumpkin. Oh, the ghost pumpkin is very cool. Look at that. So I will do the same for the ghost pumpkin. And one thing, especially if there are groups of 3, maybe you can be like, every 10 minutes, if you're sharing a computer, you switch out who gets to be the one moving around and have the other people tell the other person what to do, that kind of thing. So again, I know that some people, maybe it'll be just you as a teacher showing this and having the students tell you what to do. If it's just you showing, you could just be like, hey, you can ask the students, hey, where do you want me to move the fire pit? Move it over here. Put it on the swing. That could be dangerous. You're gonna burn the swing down. So all sorts of things. You can, I could probably come up with hundreds of different little mini lessons within here. But just the recreation, having everything set out for you is a really fun, easy way to start. So I think right now, let's go over some of the other things just to kind of give you an overview. Oh, let's go over other things you can bring in too. A little video. This will be really fun, especially for groups that say, if you have, I don't know if they have access to phones or if you have a video camera, you can make little video clips. Or actually in Luma, we can be making little videos and actually dragging and dropping your Luma video in here. So right now, I'm going to add a video. And I made a really funny little video. And I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to inspect. And then I'm going to select the video that I want there. Let's see if I can find the funny little video I did. Let's see. I'm not sure why it's not. It should be. Oh, there. There, I clicked on the wrong thing. So I was like, it wasn't finding it because it was looking for the wrong file format. There you go. This is a funny little video I did, a recreation of me as a mini person pretending I was on a podcast as a baby. And let's see if the audio works. The audio is not working just because I have the world muted, but let's unmute the world. You guys can hear it.
Hey there, I'm Fractalians. I'm here to help you on your virtual world explorations. Hey there, I'm Fractalians. I'm here to help you on your virtual world explorations. Hey there.
So then this one, you can tell, look, it's spatial audio, so the closer you get, that's kind of fun.
Hey there.
Okay. So I'm going to mute it. So within here, you can adjust the, let's see the width, make it a little bit wider. Oh, that made it Nora. Let's see, height. Let me see if it'll increase. Yep. So they could play around. And the fun thing for them to do is they could do a little video and talk about the space. They could be like, hey, welcome to our space. This is Team Fractalians, and we're building this little world. You can have a little video included. And again, that depends if they have access to a phone, but they can do all sorts of fun things because it's so easy to add audio to this. So again, let's go back and see all the different, you can set the volume. So the volume, let's say you want it to be 10. Let's see what happens. That means it's probably going to be really loud. Let me unmute it and see what happens.
Explorations. Hey there, I'm Fractalians. I'm here to help you on your virtual world explorations.
Okay, so you can see it's a lot louder, but built-in hype, so you can check out all the script for it. So any hype, which is really cool, you can just jump into this right now. If you're, the older kids, let's say they want to check out how these actual items are coded, you can go within here. You can actually make real-time adjustments within the code, which is really cool. So let's go do one of my favorite hypes. Let's bring in the fridge, which is really cool. I can show you a couple things there. So again, for the little ones, dragging and dropping, having fun. And again, this is the intro session. So it'll be fun to make this one day, no stress. Depends on your group. Maybe they can spend 20 minutes, maybe they can spend an hour, maybe less. It depends on their attention span with it. And again, the more hands-on they are with it, the more likely they are to spend a longer time. So let's see what else we can add. You can add text as well. So So enter text. Let's right click on it. Be like, howdy. There you go. You can center it, align it, have the width probably be less. I think you can also have a whole bunch of other things. You can also have, let's go back over here. You could just bring just a straight out image, which is really cool. And I heard you can also have it be transparent PNG, which is kind of cool. So let's say somebody designed something somewhere and like a cool logo for their world and they wanted to bring that in, you could do that. Let's see if I have any cool. Maybe I'll create in the demo folder for you guys. I'll also have some like demo PNGs and stuff like that to make it easier. I'm gonna just quickly search. Oh, there you go. I just had to set the transparency. This one, I don't think I edited it really well. You can see how you can see all the white outlines. I'm sure I probably have a better one to show you guys. But yeah, for now, it's just fun to know that. And again, if you rotate on your mouse, you can move your mouse back and forth and place it. Maybe I can place them. I'll place them on the swing as well. There you go. Okay. So another cool thing to know with the menu on the left-hand side. So you can actually give your world a title. Fractalians demo world. There you go. Now it has it. See how it changed up here? Oh, you can't see it, but it changed the actual tab name. Let's see. You can make public. You can have the site to be public or not public. Allow everyone to build and destroy things in the world. For disabled, only admins can build. Oh, that's cool. So if it's, I didn't know this. This is new, actually. That's really cool. So you can actually set a world to be public, so anyone could come in here and do whatever, or you can be, no, only I can with the admin password. So that's really powerful, especially in a class that means less. You don't have to give, let's say you have a bunch 5 worlds hosted, you don't have to go in there, have the admin password added, so you're able to actually edit the world. So here is that. Here's all the different, you can adjust the resolution of the world. Let's make it low. Look, it goes low res, you can see, or going back to full res. You can see how it becomes like lower res, looking at the outlines of my avatar. The stats on the upper left corner, you can see those stats. You can turn them off and on. The build prompts, which are these on the left-hand side, you can turn those off and on as well. And here, this is really cool. This menu right here lets you actually, let's say you're looking for something. You can actually, let's go back here. You can actually, if you click on that, it'll actually show you where it is. So I think I have a fishbone somewhere somewhere else. Oh, there it is. You can see in the distance over there. You see how it's like that bullet? Let's see if we can find it. There it is. See? Bullseye. Fishbone. Woo! There it is. That's the fishbone. Selected right there. Okay, let's go back. Okay. So, with all these files you have on hand, definitely give them time to play. Let them, as a group, work together to figure out how their park should be. Figure out if they want, they could have the whole park be just walk-throughable. Let's do one more quick fun little exercise. Let's bring the Hyperfy fridge over. And since it's a hype, let's just drag it over here. So like everything else, just drag and drop it in. Fridge. Where are you, fridge? Fridge. Sometimes that happens. Things don't work exactly. So maybe it's having a little bug out. So right now, since it's not being my friend, I'm going to duplicate this guy and grab it and just fly over with it. Let me show you guys something real quick. So here's my cool fridge, and a lot of these, you do all sorts of things with hypes. And again, I'm not an expert on creating hypes, but I know people who are, so maybe we can do a little video with them showing you guys. And there's a lot of amazing resources in Hyperfy, and I'll have all the links for that in videos of there's a series weekly that's done by Omka and all the community members. I'll link to those videos. They walk through a lot of really cool detailed stuff about Hyperfy. So for the older kids, they can watch some of these. I can link those if you're interested in that as well. But if you look at this one, a lot of these hypes are interact with it. And I'll turn the sound on real quick to show you guys. This one has a cool sound. I didn't unmute it. Hold on. Okay, there you go. It's got a freezer sound. It's really loud. So right now I'm going to right click, and I'm actually going to look at the code. And I'm going to look at the fridge hum. Let's make the volume. See, if you hit save, you can edit it. It's funny, I can hear my voice, my animation in the background. I'm like, what is my voice doing there? Oh, the video. So the cool thing is, again, if they're older, they can come in here and learn all about how this was built. Let's say they're like, hey, what exactly does this code do? You can grab this and let's say bring it into somewhere like ChatGPT and be like, hey, what does this part of the code do? Hey, what does this part of the code do? There you go. So that's a whole nother fun, like you could dive down the rabbit hole of coding and learning to code and understanding how people have built these hypes. That's what I've done. I go in there, I'm like, how do they do that? Copy and paste code and basically teach myself by reverse engineering what they built, which is a lot of fun. So hey, that snippet of code creates a spatial looping audio source using what looks like a framework possibly. It's kind of giving its overview of how it was coded. So it kind of breaks apart what this part does, what that part does. So it's a lot of fun. So yeah, so I think that kind of covers everything I wanted to go over in there. And another thing you could do, let's say if you have a little bit more time for their like, you know, just kind of warming up and understanding how to use all this stuff. Right now, all the GLBs were from, you know, the zip file. Let's say you're really like, hey, I want you guys to get one thing from Polypizza, which is a place you can download all these cool free little GLB files. So let's open that up real quick and I'm going to show you. So let's say I wanted to add a rabbit. So you can type in rabbit. I'm going to grab this cute little white rabbit. I'm going to download it. And all of these I will put, there's a bunch of really cool models of you, so I'm going to link all of them to this site too. And I'm going to download my into my GLB here. I'm going to do rabbit. So for those who have gone through that really fast, you can be like, okay, you can, each of you add one new element from Polypizza into your world. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to now grab that rabbit, go back into my folder, grab my new little rabbit, and bring him in. Let's see if he actually works. Oh my goodness, he's a big bunny. Oh, that's the fun thing. You never know from here. Sometimes they don't work. Most of the time they do, but this is one big bunny. And look, the bunny's on its side. So that'll actually make it a fun challenge for them. Let's now resize the massive bunny. That's actually a fun example. This bunny is big. I want him to be much smaller. Come on, bunny. Sometimes it gives you a little bit of issues. So I think bunny, I'm going to try another bunny. That's kind of a pain right now. But it is kind of fun because if you're having all these models, and actually as you could tell, he's kind of on a weird angle in here. So that should have been like the red flag, that Mr. Bunny. Ooh, let's do this bunny. This bunny looks like a sleepy bunny. Oh, man. Actually, eventually they'll be able to have animated GLBs, drag and drop in there. But right now you can't. So let's try this bunny. He's a cute little bunny. And thank you for letting us use your Let's do gray rabbit. And I will try again with this rabbit and see if it works. Again, you never know. They have to test it out, especially when using free stuff. But we will be creating in part 2 our own GLBs, which is a lot of fun. But it is fun for them, and they'll also be using, things like polypizza. Oh no. Okay, well, I think we're almost calling it a wrap for this portion. This is really long. I think I will do a long version of this and a short version. Well, I already did the long version of this. So this is the long version of this. I'll do a really short version as well, but I think it's kind of fun. Just hopefully some of you guys will take the time to listen to this. Last thing I'm going to do is add Bunny. Oh, look, that's a much smaller bunny, much more manageable. He's a very sweet bunny. Okay, but remember, Bunny, will I be able to walk through him? Yep. So what will you have to do? You're going to have to bring him in the model way and right click and just attach it that way. And that way you can add colliders if you want. Rabbit, where are you, Mr. Bunny? There it is. So now this rabbit has colliders. Well, I hope you enjoyed this mad little overview of the recreation challenge, and I think you could easily spend 1 or 2 days on this if you'd like, and this could be all you do for some age groups or intro. But this is a great segue because now they'll have a much better idea of like, oh cool, you can do this, you can do that. It's easy to place things. You have the resource of polypizza. You can create all sorts of fun avatars, use the avatars as elements, and all sorts of fun stuff. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see if you guys make some of these different parks. I would love to see what your students create, what variations they do. But I definitely encourage variations of it. Oh, here's a cool little dragon I have in here. I'll include the dragon in there too for you guys. I love the dragon. I'm sure they'll create all sorts of variations, and that would be a fun little... You can actually have a world built with just like pictures of all the variations of the parks. So there's so many cool ideas what you can do even out of this exercise. Have them also share this. And again, you can just skip ahead to day 3 after this if you don't have time to do all the cool other AI tools. This alone could be a fun little exercise. And then they reflect, and you can go through the whole cycle, or you can start over again for day 2 and just do the AI tools, which I will make a whole video about how to use all of that too. And basically you'll just be building with these other fun tools, making GLBs and bringing them in world and doing something similar, except that they're going to be building whatever they dream up. So this is all kind of my idea of what, I just want to make a fun park. They're going to be doing all sorts of fun, crazy ideas. So really excited to see what you guys make. Hope you enjoyed this. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave comments below. I'll definitely help answer your questions. And I do plan to do like live streams where people can jump in, ask any questions, and help you guys with any ideas or issues that you had. And I'd love to learn to see what worked, what didn't work, what you need more help, what didn't make sense when I ran through. I'm learning here as I go too. I love being in person, but whenever this is the next best thing, and I hope it helps some of you guys get inspired to using this amazing way to interact and do storytelling and building and games and all sorts of fun things. And yeah, okay, so that ends the part 1 of the part 2. So jump on into how to actually use all the AI tools in the next video. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.